So there's a constant drumbeat that we need to stay vigilant against COVID, and at times the medical community has been perceived by some as overprotective. For example, airline executives pushed back when the CDC gave guidance discouraging plane travel for the vaccinated. So my question here is, what does acceptable risk look like to you, and when might we get there?
Yeah, so and a lot of my colleagues were very upset with the CDC that they didn't loosen travel restrictions for those who are vaccinated. I actually fret a little less about it because I see this as interim guidance only, as version 1.0. And I think the CDC was cautious because they're worried about the B117 variant accelerating. I think they wanted to send a message. They don't want to see a lot of travel right now until we get that B117 variant tamped down, and they need a little more time to confirm the full performance spectrum of the vaccine. So although it looks pretty good that it's halting asymptomatic transmission, it's only 2 studies, and mostly only for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. There is some other data around the single dose J&J vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine doing it. I think they all do. I think if you have good levels of virus neutralizing antibody, it's just going to stop transmission. That's how all these vaccines work. But I think the CDC wanted to buy some time. I don't know that. That's just, I haven't spoken to anyone at CDC about that, but that's just my view, just my opinion based on what I'm seeing. So I think what that means is as we head into the summer and probably late in the spring, I think we will see version 2.0 come up. And, once it's clear that the B117 variant is driving downward and the number of new cases really starts to decline rather than stay at that high level, because we're still at a pretty high level. If you look at it, 50,000 new cases a day. First of all, what that means is it's about the same level as the summer when everybody was really worried about the country. So even though it's come down 80%, it's still at a pretty high level. And remember what that 50,000 new cases a day means. It means the real number is around 3 to 4 times higher than that. So it's still a lot of transmission. But I think as that starts to go down, there's going to be enormous pressure on the CDC to try to move towards life back to normal. And I think one of the first things that you'll see is that people who are vaccinated will have the green light, not only to be with other individuals inside a home who are vaccinated or to visit grandkids and kids as is currently done, but you'll see enormous liberalization. There'll be caveats in there because, let's face it, we're never going to reduce risk below 0, and that's just not how the world works. But I think you'll see the lifting of any kind of travel restriction recommendation. I think also you'll start seeing greater receptivity to going to restaurants and ball games and doing the things that people like to do. So I project that's probably going to happen later in the spring and the summer.
Okay, thank you.